Welcome to our YouTube channel. In this video, let us discuss camps and followers module. The topics we are discussing is the camps and classification of camps. Let us discuss camps first. So a camp is a mechanical member for transmitting a desired motion to a follower by direct contact. We can see there will be direct contact between cam and follower. A simplest cam mechanism consists of a cam, a follower, and a frame, out of which cam will be the driver member, follower will be the driven member. Frame just supports the cam and guides the follower. Cam may have a rotating, reciprocating, or oscillation motion also, whereas the follower is a member which gets the motion from cam. The cam imparts rotating, reciprocating, or oscillating motion to another element. The followed element is called as follower. The nature of contact between the cam and follower is a line contact, therefore it forms higher pair. We know the higher pair and lower pair. Whenever a kinematic pair is having surface contact, we call it as a lower pair, and if the kinematic pair has a line contact or a point contact, it will be higher pair. The unique feature of cam is that it imparts a very distinct motion to its follower. Sometimes the mechanism will not be useful to get that distinct motion, whereas through cam and follower we can accomplish. The complicated output motions which are otherwise difficult to achieve can be easily obtained by using these cams and followers. So this is the animation of cam and follower. The bottom part is called as the cam. So this is called as cam, whereas the top part is considered as the follower. The cam and is mounted on shaft. So here the cam is having rotary motion. The profile of the cam is such a way that it imparts reciprocating motion to the follower, and the member which supports the follower is called as frame. So it's a supporting member. So these are the three basic elements of cam and cam mechanisms. Some of the applications of cams are we commonly used for in automation equipments, automatic screw cutting machines, clocks, printing machines, automotive engines like in IC engines for to operate the valves, inlet valve and outlet valve, shoemaking machines, and many more applications. It is commonly used to obtain irregular motion that would be difficult to obtain from other linkages. Or these are the some applications of cam. Generally, cams are manufactured by three processes, that is die casting, milling process, punch and presses. The shape of the cam is not always the same. The profile of the cam will be depends upon the application. Hence, we can go for die casting, milling process, and punch presses. Let us move on to the next topic, the classification of cams. Generally, the cams are classified according to the three heading, according to basic shapes, follower movement, manner of constraint of the follower. Let us discuss this classification one by one. According to their basic shapes, we have commonly 8 types of cams. Radial, it's also called as disc cams, cylindrical cams, wedge or flat cams, face cams, spiral cam, conjugate cam, globadal cam, and spherical cam. Now, one by one, we are going to discuss this type of cams. The first type of cam is radial or disc cam. So the radial cam in which the follower moves radially from the center of rotation of the cam we call it as a radial cam or a disc cam, in which the follower will move radially from the center of cam. That's why it's called as radial cam. And if come to the design, it is very simple and compact. That's why we can see this type of cams commonly. So it is the most commonly used type of cam. In these types of follower may reciprocate, follower may oscillate in direction perpendicular to the cam axis. There is a common thing what we can see in radial disc, whereas in which the follower has motion perpendicular to the cam axis. These cams can be reciprocated, tangent or circular type. The radial distance from center of rotation of the disc is varied throughout the circumference of the cam. So circumference of the cam plays a major role to obtain the desired motion of the follower. So this is the simple diagram of a radial cam. At the bottom what we have is a cam is having a distinct profile. We can see there's an increase in radius. If we consider from the center of the cam, we have more radius at this junction and very less radius at this junction. So this irregular shape of cam causes the follower to have reciprocating motion, and cam in turn is mounted on shaft. So shaft and cam are keyed together with the help of taper key, and there is a direct contact between cam and follower. The follower here we use is a roller follower. The next type of cam is cylindrical cam. It's also called as drum cam or barrel cam. In these cams, the follower reciprocates or oscillates in the direction parallel to the cam axis, whereas in previous type radial cam, the follower reciprocates perpendicular to the cam axis, but in the cylindrical cams, we can see the follower moves parallel to the cam axis. So in this cam, the cylinder which has a circumferential contour. In the diagram, if you see, we have a cylinder. On the circumference, we have a contour cut, right? We have a groove, and inside this groove, the follower pin will be placed. So when this cylinder starts to rotate about its own axis, because of this undercut, the follower will have oscillatory motion. Since the groove is cut on the circumference of cylinder, the follower will have oscillatory motion. So here the cylinder can be considered as a cam. Hence, it's also called as cylinder cam, and it looks like a drum. So it looks like a barrel. So it's also called as drum cam and barrel cam. This is one more diagram for a cylinder cam. So we can see the green color is called as a cylinder cam. The green color is a cylinder cam or a drum cam, and the slot we can see at this junction, a groove is cut on the circumference of the cylinder, and we have a follower at this here, which is having a reciprocating motion. So rotary motion of the cam is converting into reciprocating motion using this type of elements, and we can see the motion of the follower is parallel to the axis of the cam. So this is the axis of the cam, which is parallel to the motion of the follower. Wedge cam is the next type. So we simply denote the wedge by W and follower by F and guide by G. It is commonly used to transmit the translation motion. Here the follower can either translate or oscillate. Springs are commonly used to make sure there will be continuous contact between cam and follower. In the diagram you can see we have the bottom part is called as wedge and the top part is called as follower. These two are in contact with the help of spring. As the cam rotates, the follower moves up and down sometimes here the wedge cams may have reciprocating motion also, as in the diagram shown. So when the wedge cam having reciprocating motion, the follower also will have reciprocating motion. So this type of cams are commonly used to transmit reciprocating motion of one element to the reciprocating motion of the another element. The flat cams is almost similar to the wedge cam. Here we will be having a groove which is cut on the flat plate. So inside this groove, we'll place the roller of the follower. So when this flat plate moves in this direction, that causes the follower to move up and down due to the groove which is present inside the plate. And here the springs are not necessary. Hence, this is also gives us a positive drive. The direct contact between the follower and follower roller and the groove which is cut on the flat plate gives a positive drive. The fourth type of cam is face or end cam. It is a cylindrical cam. Once again, it's a part of cylindrical cam. Here the groove is cut on the face of the cylinder. There is a very important difference between cylinder cam and end cam. So here we have what the cylinder's face. On the face we will cut the groove, and the follower will place on that groove, so that due to this irregularity of the end face of the cylinder, the cam will have reciprocating motion. So when this cam rotates about its vertical axis, we know by the picture the face or end of the cam is having some irregular shape, so that causes the follower to move up and down. So rotary motion is converted into once again the reciprocating motion with the help of this type of cam. The spiral cam is the next type of cam. It is a face cam in which a groove is cut in a form of spiral as shown in figure. So here we can see we have a groove, but that is in a shape of spiral. So the spiral consists of teeth which meshes with the pin gear follower. So here what we have follower, at the end of the follower we have a teethed wheel or a teethed like a roller, so that will engage with the spiral groove. So this also gives us a positive drive. The velocity of this follower is proportional to the radial distance of the groove. Here we can see the radial distance of groove is varied. At this junction we have less radial distance, whereas at this junction we have more radial distance. But the limitation of this type of cam is cam has to reverse the direction to reset the position of the follower. To bring back the follower to original position, cam has to rotate in reverse direction. So we can't complete the rotation, we cannot get a complete rotation of the cam continuously. So for a forward stroke, we have to rotate in one direction. To get back to original position, it has to rotate reverse. We can see the application in computers. The conjugate cam is a double disc cam. So here we'll be having double disc. In a figure we can see we have disc 1 and disc 2, and these cams are keyed together with the follower, roller followers. So this is a follower number 2, roller follower number 1. So since this follower is placed in such a way that it's having the direct contact with the cam, it gives us a positive drive. Thus the follower has a positive constraint. And these type of cams are commonly used where the requirements are low wear. They should be, we want low wear, and we want a low noise and better control of the follower, whereas high applications and high dynamic loads. So conjugate cams are commonly used in where high speed work is going to be, but low noise is required. Globoidal cams is a we can tell there will be two types of globoidal cams. One is convex type, another one is concave type. It mainly depends upon the surface of the cam. So in the diagram you can see here we have a convex surface, therefore it's called as convex cam, whereas in other right hand side diagram we have concave surface, so it is concave cam. The circumferential contour is cut just like cylindrical cams. Here also we'll be having a circumferential groove, and the follower will follow this groove, so that the rotary motion will be converted into oscillating motion of the follower. The application we can see it is very limited to moderate, because we can use this for moderate speed, not for high speed, and it depends upon angle of oscillation of the follower, right? So as the angle of oscillation of the follower requires more, the length of the cylinder also increases. So depending upon application, we have to decide whether to go for globoidal cams or any other type of cams. The spherical cams is a form of spherical. The cam itself is in a shape of spherical, and it also consists of groove. In the diagram you can see a spherical cam is mounted on a vertical shaft, is rotating on on the spherical cam. We have a groove, so inside that groove the follower will be engaged, the follower part pinpoint will be engaged, and we commonly use the spring to get in contact between cam and follower. And one more thing what we can observe here, in a spherical cam the follower oscillates about an axis which is perpendicular to the axis of rotation. So axis of rotation of cam is, we can see in this direction, and oscillation of the cam will be in this direction, so which is perpendicular to the axis of rotation of the cam. So by this we completed introduction to cam and classification of cam based on their shape. Thank you.